Okay, we all saw the Ferrari Luce, it was unveiled, and honestly, this car, I don't understand why Ferrari would go with this car, would go with a design like this, and I get they need to make an electric car probably at some point because governments around the world are pushing electrification to save the planet and all that, and that's fine, but why did Ferrari go in a direction like this? It makes no sense because in terms of design, this looks like the farthest thing from a Ferrari. And it's not even a cheap car either, it's really expensive too, like most Ferraris. And I'm wondering what was going through their head while making this car because an EV supercar, sports car, hypercar, that's already a flawed concept because it doesn't have the things that we want, which is mainly the engine and the feeling for the engine. And Ferrari is already in a bad position in trying to make this car appealing to the Ferrari lovers. So why would they end up going with a design like this? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad design, but it feels like it's a design that should be in a sub $100,000 car, like I don't know, a Honda or a Toyota or maybe a Lotus even. But for a Ferrari, yeah, no. And the Ferrari designs recently are a bit tame and a bit more plain. I personally love the previous generation with the 458, the LaFerrari. That generation felt like that was the peak of Ferrari's engine design. But yeah, the recent ones they weren't all that incredible. But the F80, it was okay. I mean, the front I felt like it needed a bit more, but all of the design was good. It looked like a real race car. But this thing looks like a budget EV sport, a budget EV sports car. That's what the design looks like. And the fact that they went for this doesn't make any sense to me. And I guess they're and I'm trying to figure out what the market for this is. Who would want to buy it now? Obviously, this car is gonna sell because I think you have to buy some Ferraris to get in line for the really expensive ones to get on a list or something. And maybe this car ends up being one of those cars that you might need to buy, in which case it will sell. But if it isn't and you don't need to buy this car, then who's gonna wanna buy this car? Because even with the Ferrari badging, and even if you're an EV lover who wants a Ferrari, I mean, do you really wanna spend a lot of money? What's the price tag of this car? What, 400,000, 500,000, or something? I mean, that's a bit too much for this car. And sure, it's got a lot of power. It's very powerful, and I'm guessing the handling will be very good. But still, the people who would want to buy this car, it's not going to be appealing to them. And for the real tech enthusiasts who would want to buy Ferrari EV, I don't know if they would either. And then there's the people who want to flex about having a Ferrari. If they spend this much money and buy this Ferrari, I mean, everyone else is just gonna make fun of them for this car. So I don't think they're gonna want to go near this car either. So the only real market for this is the hardcore EV enthusiasts who want the Ferrari badge and have a lot of money to spend on it. So I feel like it's gonna be a very, very small list. So yeah, don't really have a lot of confidence in this car selling well. And honestly, if Ferrari decides to not put it into production at all, I wouldn't blame them. I mean, Lamborghini did that. Lamborghini was planning to make a electric supercar, probably something similar to the Aventador or the the Temerare or something, and they decided to scrap it because the Lamborghini fans don't want an EV Lamborghini sports car or supercar, and they heard it and they decided to save some money on it by not making it. But Ferrari is moving forward with this. It's probably not the best, and I think if this car does come out, it might just end up doing some some damage to their brand reputation, and it's probably best to avoid it. So that's what I think of the Ferrari Luce. And sure, the interior I honestly like. Now, the people who design the exterior are the same people who design the interior. They were the ones who designed the iPhones and the Apple Watch and all that. And the interior, honestly, it does kind of feel familiar in that sense compared to Apple. And the interior I like. It looks like a retro type of car, and with the Ferrari had the this car had an exterior that had a retro look that might have worked, like the Ionic 5 and all that. But this design just doesn't work. So yeah, it's very disappointing to see a car like this from Ferrari, and I really hope they don't bring this out. Unless they decide to bring it out at a really cheap price, at $100,000 or $150,000 or something. At least at that point, it's a way for people to get into a cheaper Ferrari, and they wouldn't mind if it's an EV. But at the price tag, that's what, similar to the 296. Why wouldn't you just go get a 296? And that design, compared to the other modern designs, is a bit more attractive. So